We all have moments in our lives when we feel like doing nothing, even though we have a big task or assignment to complete. Instead, we find ourselves preferring to do other things, and to avoid feeling bad about it, we come up with excuses. For example, when I'm about to write a script, sometimes I think, I don't feel motivated, I'm tired, or I don't feel creative. These thoughts arise simply as a way of postponing the work I have to do. This is procrastination, and everyone has done it, at least once. In fact, 95% of people admit to procrastinating at least once. We all have goals, dreams, and aspirations, but there is a path between where we are right now and where we want to be. And in order to achieve those goals, to progress along that path, we have to put in a lot of work. In theory, it's easy to say it, but when it comes to practice, there's a lot of resistance. Resistance is a universal force that has one sole mission: to keep things as they are. To put it clearly, resistance are all the things and thoughts that come to us to make us procrastinate, preventing us from doing what we need to do, and consequently, of course, hindering our progress towards our goals. But there's a solution to this, and it's self-discipline. Self-discipline is about leaning into resistance, taking action in spite of how we feel. Essentially, it's about showing up and doing the work regardless your current emotional state. There's a lot of ways to cultivate self-discipline, but from my experience, I have learned what, in my opinion, are the best way to stop procrastinating. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. Don't avoid distractions. Eliminate it. Attention is the new currency in this modern world, and to achieve great things, we must be able to work without distractions for extended periods of time. But this becomes challenging when there's literally a lot of distractions vying for our attentions. Our phones, social media, internet, emails, and sometimes even our friends and co-workers. For a long period of time, I tried to simply avoid these distractions. For example, when I was working, I used to keep my phone on my desk, and when a notification popped up, I tried to ignore it, relying solely on my willpower. However, relying solely on my willpower is not sustainable. We only have a limited amount of it, so we often give it into distractions. Therefore, the best way to avoid distractions is simply not to have them. For me, I set a specific blocks of time where I eliminate all distractions. I put my phone in airplane mode and place it in a drawer. I close all non-work related tabs and clean my workspace, leaving only the essential needed to complete my task. In this way, I don't have to rely on willpower, because I simply don't have to use it. Just do it. As Nike said, just do it. The difference between successful people and failures are that failures wait for motivation to strike, while successful ones just get up and get to work. We sometimes just wait for inspiration and motivation to come to us before we start. However, inspiration, motivation, and action are not a linear progressions. They form a cycle. And even if it's hard, try to start, regardless of how you feel at that moment. Just get started, and within 5 minutes of work, you'll likely feel inspired and motivated, completing your task without even realizing it. And remember, inspiration does not lead to actions, but are our actions that lead us to inspiration. Therefore, focusing on initiating the process. Feeling unmotivated is common, but if you learn to detach your actions from your emotions and become a person of actions, you'll notice a significant impact on your life. For example, writing scripts is the most challenging part of my creative process. And in the past, I had made excuses like, I don't feel motivated or I'm not inspired. Now, I try to start even when I don't feel like it. And as soon as I write down the first line, I become inspired and motivated, enjoying the writing process. Of course, it is not always easy. There are days when I still procrastinate, but it's all about getting started and improve that detachment over time. A helpful tip is to create to-do lists with smaller specific actions rather than big ones. This way, when you start ticking off completed tasks, you'll feel empowered by the progress, which fuel motivations. For example, in my case, instead of make a YouTube video, I break it down into write a script, record, edit, add motion graphics, and publish. And of course, this approach can be applied to all the aspects of your life. And once you start getting things done, regardless of how you feel, it's crucial to have external independence. I strongly believe that this is the most important factor to leading a happy life, yet is also the most challenging. We all have something called locus of control, which is the degree to which people believe they, rather than external forces, have control over the outcomes of events in their lives. There are external and internal locus of control. If you have external locus of control, you believe that your life is primarily influenced by external forces. While if you have internal locus of control, you believe that your life is primarily influenced by your own actions. For example, at work. A person with an internal locus of control believes that their hard work will lead to a promotion. And they also believe that if they don't get it, they just need to work harder to get that promotion. On the other hand, a person with an external locus of control believes that promotions are largely beyond their control, and external forces such as chance or boss whims determine their fate. Although they may not work as hard to obtain the promotion, if they don't get it, probably they will be more easy on themselves than someone with an internal locus of control. In summary, take responsibility and focus on things that you can control. Stop blaming people, circumstances, and external factors when the things go wrong. Instead, take full responsibility and work even harder to achieve the things that you want. By cultivating external independence, you'll notice that your life will be way better. And when you face adversity, ask yourself, can I do something about it? If the answer is yes, take action and do it. And if the answer is no, don't even waste energy on blaming external factors. In my opinion, this is the most challenging part because it's easier to blame instead of taking responsibility. For example, when you get a bad grade, it's easier to blame the teacher instead of go and study harder for the next time. So try to develop an internal locus of control. And as you gain external independence, you'll notice you find more solution to your problems and of course achieve greater success to all areas of your life. Stop procrastination is not easy, but is necessary to achieve success in life. Mastering it will not only make your life more successful, but also happier. Every person is different, so find the best way for you to overcome procrastination. As always, don't forget to stay uniquely and catch you in the next one.